Well, hey everybody, this is Sam from Python Basics doing our bi-weekly streams. So today we're going to be looking at Tkinter and building a little Tkinter calculator. So is anyone familiar with what a GUI is? Has anybody ever heard that term? GUI. So it's graphical user interface. And all that is how are we going to interact with a user and take input and put it on the screen and have it be visual. So we just aren't using command line things and things like that. So, all right, let's go ahead and just get after it. All right. And Jan, if you have anything that is getting out of hand, because I think you are a moderator as well, if I recall. I hope they gave you access, because I don't see Cardinal here, because I think he did it 2 weeks ago. Okay, so let's just go ahead and get after it. So one of the GUI modules from Python is Tkinter, and it is literally just like this. I think one time I heard Tkinter, but I know it as Tkinter. So all right, I just saw a comment about the volume. Is the volume not that great? All right, this is the first time. Okay, volume's okay? All right. Oh, okay, Jan. I thought we gave you admin. We'll talk on Discord after this. I don't see Cardinal yet. All right. Okay, so Tkinter, let's just get into it. So we bring in Tkinter and we know all the little tricks. Well, we're going to use some aliasing because I don't want to type a lot like normal. All right, so I do dir and I do tk. And here are all of my functions and methods that I use to get things going. And the very first step is this tk, capital T, capital K. So let's look and see what in the world this does. So we're just gonna walk through it. We're gonna get a few little learning things out of the way, and then we're gonna jump onto the calculator. And you have to forgive me if I sound if I mumble a little bit today. I had some mouth some dental things done, and I'm not completely recovered. So, well, let's not get ahead of ourselves. So let's look at help tk, capital T, capital K. So, all right, so lowercase k. Now look how big all of this is. So let's bring this over. So it's going to make a screen. So I got some optional arguments here, but it's going to make a object, top level widget, and all that is a fancy way to say I've made an object. And we can do a tremendous amount of things with this, but this is our building block. This is our actual window. Then we can do things to that and inside of that window. So tk. Now I'm going to show you that you can get this to work, but this is not best practice right here. This is not best practice to do. I will show you best practice. Let's close this down so we can see. So we're actually going to create our window object. This is, I just got it going, but it's we're not in control of it right now. It's just there. So now we're having a little bit more control, and I have now let's look, and Tkinter objects begin to layer very quickly. So I want to show you now I have an object that then now has a tremendous amount of items that we can do. Oh, yes, everybody. Jan, awesome. Thank you. This is now our 11th video in this series. So we've done a lot of basics. We've done a little bit of problem solving. We've looked, I think the only thing that I need to add to today that we haven't done is we're going to look at the evaluate function. That's about the only thing I don't think we have touched on. But yes, you can use idle. The reason why I use this is specifically for beginners. Everything that I'm doing is really based around somebody who has never used Python. So these are the tools that you get, and everybody can use them. I use others, but I want you to find something that works for you. But everything that we do here, you can do in idle. You have this script editor, which is fine, which gets the job done. And of course, then you have the interpreter shell. So it's fine. It's a great starting place, and you can do everything here. You don't have to worry about importing and environments. You don't have to deal with any of that. That's why we're doing this. So, okay. Now, let's find something called main loop. Let's see if I can do my alphabet very well. But the next thing is that we are controlling this, but it's not really quite controlled. Let's see. There. I didn't want to embarrass myself anymore. Main loop, right here. This is how we actually control and have best practice, where I'm literally controlling everything. And then now I close it. Okay, so now let's start getting into some more controls of this window. So I've just assigned my TK object into a variable when. Then I take my when object and I run my main loop on it. So we didn't even look at that. When dot main loop. But again, if you are new here, great. We're glad to have you here. Make sure you're supporting freeCodeCamp, wonderful organization. I've gotten to know Quincy and Bo over the past few months, and their team is doing some wonderful things to ensure. And I've had my YouTube channel. If you're interested in seeing any of these things, down in the description below is a link to my channel. Everything that I've done on here has micro videos over there. So if you like long format, great. Here we are. If you get overwhelmed and you want shorter format, you can jump over there, and I have little micro videos. But I believe in what Quincy is wanting to do, and that's why I'm spending my time here and giving you guys some really good info, best practice, and some pretty good skills. So all right, main loop, call the main loop TK. Okay, that's pretty self-explanatory. Now let's look at how to control the window, because right now Python and Tkinter are just doing what they know, showing what size to be, no information, and nothing else. So let's see. Let's run dir on when. See what we get. Should be title. Is that something that we can do? Okay. Here we go. I can have a title. So let's look and see how this works. So help when title. Okay. Automatically defaults to none. set the title for this widget or for our window. The term widget is a term that's been around for decades. It's an indiscriminate way to describe an object. Here's an object, and then I'm sure you've seen it on your phones now. It's pretty much adopted everywhere. What's up, Cardinal? Thanks for joining us today. All right, Cardinal's our admin. We need to make sure. Cardinal, remind me to let's get Jan admin. I thought I sent that off to freeCodeCamp to Bo. Help me remember, because I don't want you getting overwhelmed. But yes, we have two awesome, or we will have two awesome. I don't think, yeah, it's supposed to be the wrench. Okay. Yeah, something went wrong. But all right, glad to have everybody here. Let's get after it. So win dot title, and what did we learn right here? Oh, and look at this. We pass in a string. Calculator. Let's see if I spell right. Get all of my things. So boom. Okay. Now let's see it automatically, or default. Its default argument goes to a certain size. So let's see what other tools, because I can shrink this, and here we go. So that's not very handy that this just comes out and is of a, it's not that, if I start putting buttons here, so one, I at least want to be able to see calculator. So guess what? Python and Tkinter have solved this for us. And there's two ways we can do this. Help.win.configure. All right. So now this can take multiple arguments. We're going to look at a couple of them. So win.configure, and so we got width 300, height 300. So now I'm starting to control the size. Okay, so here we are right now. Now, you can also pass in a background. We're not going to go into all of them, but you have a tremendous amount of control over your window. Oops. I think I spelled background wrong. And forgot me an N. Forgot an N. Boom. There we are. So this is one way to control. Now I'm going to show you another way to control. And geometry and TRY. If you've been here a while, you've heard me say that I am not a speller. Now this takes a string for the dimensions. So we're going to pass in the exact amount, and then I'm going to click over. And I think my kids are right. I think I do need a third. Yeah, guys, look, the comments need to be Python related, and if we can, have them be just specifically related to this tutorial, because the mods have been instructed to just kick you. Because look, we have a lot of, because it was only member chat only, but had a chat with Quincy, and we wanted as many people to be involved as possible. So this is your warning. I want you, if you want to be here to learn, let's learn. But the mods have been instructed to just kick you. All right. So the geometry. So if we look right here, okay. So we got our 300. Great. Whoop-de-doo. Okay, it's the same thing. I can do it two ways. Now, what I think is so cool about the geometry is that method is now you can control where it appears on the screen. And we use the addition sign to control where it shows up. So let's see. Let's do 200 and 200. 0 zeros in the top corner, X and Y as they move down. So if I make this 500, as you can see, it moves over X, Y. All right. So now that we have a little bit of a few of those things out of the way, now let's get into. I do want to show you some labels, and then we'll get into the calculator more. But I also want you to understand labels and buttons. So, and because we do need to look at packing, so let's just do this. So do label, and we are just scratching the surface of TK. Now also, there is, and I don't know if it's in this lesson that I go over as the difference between, because there's two, there's TK and then there's TTK running in the also in the same library, and one is a smoother rounding edges of buttons and things, and it's just there's a little bit more touch to it. So if you are interested in having it be a little bit softer, then this piece of Tkinter is very nice, and we'll just go ahead and look at it. So ttk.label.win. So I want a label. I want it associated with this object, and then this is the text that I want this label, to display. And we'll just go with the standard hello world. Close this out. All right, I forgot a very important part of this. All right, what did I leave out? TTK label, import Tkinter, label dot pack. Shoot, what am I missing? Let me check my notes. All right. Okay. I guess something is, I could not believe that I've misplaced the notes on labels. So we'll just go ahead and get into the calculator. I guess I could have sworn these are the right notes. Okay. Well, I apologize. TK object, when, oh, this is all capital. I forgot that. There we go. And then there's not a lot of difference with the labeling, but with buttons they have a little smoother edge to it. So actually, let's look at a button. And I do want to show this is an important lesson here about placement and order. So I want to move this to show. Button when text argument, and we're going to learn a lot about arguments here in a little bit, all different varieties of arguments that are set. So I run this, I get my label, but my button didn't show up, and it's because it did not get packaged. So button dot pack. So I want to show you. I move this. So I just moved button. So let's see. All right, it didn't move. It is how this is. The order is by how this is packed. So wherever, it does not matter the arguments that you create, the variables, the arguments you create and the variable they're assigned to, right? That's what we do with our equal sign if we have some very, very new individuals here. It is the order in which they are packaged up. All right, that is probably the most important thing that you need to understand. Yeah, Cardinal, just I don't want you having a headache. If look, guys, Cardinal is here to partake and help, and also learn. So if you guys, yep, we are going to be getting to grid. We're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. Look, everything I always do, I assume there is someone here who has no experience with it, and I want them to understand something. I want everybody who's sitting here to never feel overwhelmed. That's the point of all my videos and all my streams. So there we go. All right. So packing is very important, because if you do not do that, it doesn't happen. Now, as someone was chatting about grid, why don't you use grid? Well, we are. I want you to understand that you can have very explicit control and how things come out. All right. So I got about 36 minutes. So let's just get after the calculator. So this is, I didn't show you guys. This is, I got this on the other screen, so we're only going to see. This is going to be our end result. We're going to take button presses, +5, boom. So the only thing that we should not know in this example is the evaluation function. I've gone over everything here. All right, so let's get after it. So we got calculator, we got some geometry. Let's see where we need to be. And we're going to have quite a few things to learn. So we're going to go slow, and we're just going to get them all down. All right, let's see. Let's get in the right spot and see where we need to start. But yeah, I'm really glad to have everybody here. I really enjoy doing this. freeCodeCamp is a wonderful organization, and I'm very grateful that I get to participate and do these streams. And thank you everybody for showing up here. I know my schedule keeps changing, and I did not want to stop doing these, so we've moved to every other week, because I don't want to just say no, but I can get enough stuff done and carve out an hour every 2 weeks. But it was getting to the point where it was becoming more challenging. So all right, why don't we get the buttons and the layout on the screen, and then, because we have a tremendous amount to do and a lot of arguments, so we got a lot of typing to do. So let's just start there. So like somebody commented earlier, why don't we use grid? Well, we are, because when you have buttons and you're using coordinates, and it becomes a headache. Well, Tkinter and Python had thought about this. So why don't we do columns and span? Span is basically padding, and then columns and rows. So, all right, there we go. Let's get started. So we have button, and we're just going to name them button 7. So we're going to, here. Let's get this up so we can have so we don't have to think about it. We can keep this up over here. All right, so we're going to do 7, an 8, 9, and a crossed. And then we're going to check it. Always check it and then go from there. So button equals, all right, TTK button. Then where's it going? It's going in our win. Its text is going to be 7. Now we're not going to do the commands yet. We're just going to get it to the screen. So then basically a different type of packing. Button 7.grid. And then where do we want this? We want it on row 1 and column. I hate the word column. I can never spell it. Column 0. All right. And we got lots of typing. And we're not copying because I will make a mistake and I'm going to live TTK button. I think when I did this on the video on my channel, I edited it out because I made so many mistakes. All right, win.text.8, then button underscore 8 dot grid, and we're going to move over. So same row. All right. I haven't checked on chat. Everybody hanging in there? Everybody doing okay? All right. It's the same row, different column. All right. All right. Jan, Cardinal, anything I need to know about? All right, so then over 1. All right, then button. So we got 7, 8, 9, just like our keyboard, just like this. Not like the phone. Does anybody ever notice that it's just upside down? 5 is always in the middle. I was a weird kid. I noticed that when I was very young. All right, so the 9 equals TTK button, win, text, because we're going to have a dilemma here in a little bit that we're going to have to solve. Underscore 9 dot grid row. Oops, I think I'm changing something. Yep, rows stay the same, columns change. Row 1. I think I can shrink this and see both chat and. Okay, the plus 500 plus 200, that is the location. Those are the coordinates on the screen, X. So to differentiate in this, so the times is 300 by 300 pixels. Then the plus is telling Tkinter, I want, that is now going to be, I'm differentiating between the dimensions, the size, and the placement. So I wanted it pixel 500 down and 500 over, 200 down. That was the plus. Great question. All right. Because look, I will also tell you guys, if you have a question and if you're not sure, please ask it, because somebody else has that question, or if it's something you just learned, ask it, and or if you figured it out while you're watching it, still ask it, because somebody else doesn't have that information. Because sometimes when I'll be in having discussions, I'll ask a question even if I know the answer, because I know somebody else there doesn't know. And then I might even ask it itself, because that was one of the things about Quora and StackFlow. Post a question that you know the answer to that you just learned, and then go from there. So all right, now, oops, I made a boo-boo. These all need to be strings. All right, so here's my divisor sign. So I'm moving across 7, 8, 9, and my divisor. All right, then button underscore D dot grid, then row 1, column. We may start copying. I hate it, but I want to get through as much as possible. So all right, this is my other one. Let's run this. See how we do. All right, so we're getting close. So now the problem is with this one, we do not need this size. We're going to allow Python to help us with the sizing. All right, so that's all we have. That's all we need. So boom, I turned this off and I said, Python, go ahead and just size this to what it needs to be. All right, so we just came through and we did all these. All right, let's get going on our, where'd our second one go? Did it kick it out? I think it did because I'm using the same interpreter. Okay, so 4, 5, 6 multiplication. All right. Help me make sure I don't make a mistake here, everybody. All right, so 4, because we got a lot to cover. 4, 4, nope, see, I already did it. 5, 5, 6, 6, and then what did I say for this one? I think I did M for multiplication. So now we got to get this right. So this is 4. This is 5. Yeah, 6. And then multiplication. All right. So let's kick that out. Let's test. Oops. Grid. So now we're all down a row. We're all down a row. Columns are the same. We're all down a row. Now let's check this out. Now I've left out something. There's a huge important piece, but let's get this all to the screen, and then we need to learn about some very important things in Tkinter. All right. Actually, the original versions of YouTube was Python and Django, if I recall my reading correctly, if I remember my Python history. Same thing with Pinterest, if I remember. All right, so we got 2 rows. Let's keep going. So we did very, very good. We didn't screw up too bad. Let's see our notes. Actually, we need to look at our example. Feeling very nervous about our. All right. So we got 1, 2, 2, 3, 3. Then subtraction. So let's get changing all this. So 1, 2, 3, subtraction, the subtraction sign. All right, close that, save, run. Let's see how we're doing. All right, I have missed something because what just happened? So I have 7, 8, 9, 1, 2, 3. I did not change my rows. This is why I hate copying. You will never, ever, ever, okay, I will never get everything correct on the first go round. So we got 7, 8, 9, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So we have 7 of the we have 9 of the numbers, and we have 3 of the multiplication. So we still have a problem. All right, run this. What are we missing? Okay, we need a 0, we need a decimal, we need a clear sign, we need a addition sign, and then we need an equal sign. So let's deal with our fourth one here, and then we have a problem right here that we need to deal with. We got two actual pretty big problems and some issues with the whole screen, right? All right. I think we're doing good. We got 23 minutes. So now we got, let's see, we got 0, 0. We're just going to stay with our little format. Dot. I guess I could have called that decimal, but we're going to stick with dot just to keep my notes, so when I mess something else up, we'll see. Then we clear it, or clear. Oops. This is again a perfect example. I just pasted and I started changing in the wrong spot. 1, 2, 3. Okay, let's see. Yep. Okay. So 0, 0. Then dot. Dot. But yeah, what we're going to be doing next is we're going to be able to solve the entry bar, or excuse me, the equal button, but our entry, we have an entry bar that has a lot of things that we can do with, and we're going to need to solve that. So now here's our addition sign, and here's, oops. 1, 2, 3, clear. Forgot clear. And then, yeah, I'm reading the wrong. And then A. Then we need to deal with our entry, our equal sign, in a minute. Yes, up above, if you're not on full screen, you can see playlist. Click on the playlist, and Bo has done a great job of organizing these all. They're in sequential order, and like Jan and Cardinal were saying, this is the 11th one. So, all right, let's close this out. Let's see what we did. Nope, missed one more thing. Row 4, columns are the same, just changing our rows. Let's see how we did. All right, we are getting very, very close. So we need an entry bar, an entry widget, and then we need just one big button to go across. And this is how we do it. So we go, and then we're going to learn about a new, let's just copy this. I hate doing this, guys. I just don't want to bore you guys with everything. So our equal sign. All right. So then this is going to be equals E. So this is row 5. Now, instead of column 3, well, here, let's run this. We're going to have a problem. Okay, we got our equal sign here, but we want this to run the whole span. So we have our padding right here. This is, as you can see, Python is handling our padding. We can do more with that if we'd like. But we had how many buttons going across? 1, 2, 3, 4. So we were telling Python we have column 0, 1, 2, 3. Okay, we understand that's 0 indexing, that's 4. So here's a new argument, column span. And we're going to change this to 4. So, hey, here's a button, here's a row, take up 4 columns. Oops. Take up 4 columns, and then there's one more little thing. So, hey, go in the middle. And then there's a little term, forgot this one, sticky. Well, how far do you want me to go? And these are directional. The compass directional. North, south, east, and west. North, south, east, and west. I love this. This is probably one of the coolest things that I learned about Tkinter. I want you to stretch it take up 4 and go out in all directions. Boom. Now, all right. Now we got into it. Shoot, we got to keep moving. Okay. Now we got to learn and take on a little bit of, we got to get into some housekeeping up here. Okay. We need to learn about an entry bar. Okay. Entry, TTK dot capital entry. And if you've noticed, most of these objects begin with a capital. I had forgotten that. All right, so we get when, we get now when we're going to employ what we just learned about, so grid. Now, where did I start my row? I did this kind of on purpose so we wouldn't have to do anything silly. So this is row 1 for our numbers. So now we're going to do this. This needs to be at the top, so this is going to be row 0. So row 0, column span. One day I promise I will learn how to spell column. So column span 4, and our sticky. No, I wish I knew another language. I did do something, and I hope I didn't offend everybody. It was a while ago over on my channel, but I think the top 7 languages, I went and tried to say them. If I say thank you in Hindi, if I can remember correctly, Dhanyavad. How'd I do with the accent? But I wish, and actually I've thought about getting some people that I know to translate for me. Was that pretty good? I did do good? Okay. Well, thank you. All right, so sticky, north, south, east, and west. North, south, east, and west. I will tell you a silly thing, and I heard my oldest say it not too long ago. Never eat soggy waffles. That's the compass around so you know the direction it goes in. All right. Okay. So now we need to handle some commands here in a minute to get this math to do it. But it looks like we'll run a little bit over. I have a little bit of a cushion. But okay. So let's run this. Okay. Now I'm going to show you a problem that we have to solve. If this drives you nuts like it does me, to have numbers come out and start over there and work their way backwards, I hate that. I think it should be over here, but it defaults to go over there. But guess what? We have a way to handle this, and we use the argument justify, and I want this to the right. All right, let's see what I did. And then we're going to need to handle, so now boom, boom. Okay, all right, but we got nothing. We don't have anything coming up right now. So we need to start handling all of these things. And the way that you do this is you create a function. Shoot, am I in frame? I've been moving around. Okay, cool. I didn't want to be all out of frame like this. I remember I've seen some videos. I think a few of my first, I was all out of frame and it drove me nuts. I think I'd talk like this. I hated it. Okay, but I was moving stuff around today. But yeah, hey guys, don't forget to make sure we're buying some Free Code Camp merch because they're doing a lot of great work. Okay, I digress. We got to get this going. Here we go. So we gotta start handling some things. So we need to have a press definition, a function. and this is going to be how we get keys on the screen. And we need to create a couple little expression. We need this to be an empty string of because we're going to add to it, and we're going to be moving in and out of functions. So we're going to use the global keyword. Sticky was where do you want it to go? And I wanted it to go to all edges. I wanted it to go to the top of the row. I wanted it to go to the bottom of the row. I wanted it to go to the right of the row. I wanted it to go to the left of the row. So I took this and I literally stretched it out for my equal sign and my entry bar. So I had it spread in all 4 directions: north, south, east, and west. All 4. Great question. Thank you. Perfect. It will span column in all directions. Boom. All right. So now we're going to take in this global, because we need to be able to bring this in from outside the function and make it available outside. It's going to pass through and through, because it's going to be passed to another function here very shortly. So our cursor, which we'll deal with in just a second, gets moved in and out. All right. Then we need to handle, and we need to look at text. Okay, we need to do this too. All right, we need to create an object that is a string, a Tkinter string object. How Tkinter handles strings, and this is how it does it. Text tk dot string. Let me get that out of the way. String var. All right. So this is how it grabs information that you're passing to it, and that is going to be our cursor. This is the equivalent of our cursor and what information is associated to it. That's what we need to know right now. So now as we press, our expression is going to increment up by the string of whatever num we take in. Now there's another issue that each time we take in this information, we need to reassign. I'm setting this object, I'm adjusting it every time through this text object, this object, and you have to, each time you have a new one, this is how I want you to think about it. This is how I told one student one time. The reason why you need different objects is this is the present and this is the box. So you could buy, like you could go to a shelf and you wanted to buy a bunch of gifts that were the same, but you wanted to give them to different people. You would grab all of the same objects, but you'd wrap them in different presents that they would do different things. That's how you want to think about this. So all right, we got global. So now here is my press function. But now I need to then link this ability, this command, to each button. And a button object has a argument called command. So then I'm going to link these two together. So whatever command or function activity I would like this button to do, I use the command argument and link that function to that command for that button. All right, I know this is a lot, but we're going to keep going slow. And then for button presses, we're going to use the lambda. All right, then press, then this is 7, so I want a 7 to go. So guess what? We're going to copy a bunch of stuff. I hate this, so bear with me. Did I get that last one? Okay, there we go. So I need to copy this. Paste. paste, 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 and we need to change a couple. We gotta change a lot. But the actual keys, not the numbers, they get treated a little bit different. They get the string, and then we need to talk about the evaluation function. Ooh, somebody didn't catch this. All right. 0, decimal, C, and addition. So now let's just go ahead and start here. So then this is the addition sign, the addition function, because, excuse me, the addition operator, because we're going to throw this into an evaluation. We'll deal with this clear in a minute because we're going to handle this differently. All right, then this is dot. This is 0. Thank you for bearing with me, guys. I know me typing is just so exciting, so hopefully I am keeping this moving pretty quickly. All right, and star, oops, wrong. 6, 5, 4, 9, 8. So let's try this. Let's run this and see if it crashes. Okay, I've already missed one. Okay. See what else crashes. Okay, I've tremendously missed a lot of things. We're probably about to copy something because I hate fixing. Oh, string var. Tkinter. It's thrown up on string var. Okay. Let's close that out and see if we get it. Okay. And we are not adjusting that. All right. Text is not defined. Let's see where I'm missing. Text dot. TTK. See what I'm missing. Oh, anybody else see it? String. STR ring. All right. Okay, so I'm getting okay. All right, everybody doing good? All right. So now we need to get this. So we have a lot of the things associated, but there's one important factor that is not done. So there is a text argument. So on a button, there's a text argument. And if you want information to be in the button, you use the text argument. Now, a variable, we create variables to be able to do something to them, to change them, right? Well, same thing in Tkinter. So now we have a text variable argument, because that entry bar, not only will it take in input, but it's going to change if we hit the equal sign. So that's why we use the text variable argument, because it can change. All right, let's see how we're doing. Okay, all right. So now, but nothing happens when I hit equal. Nothing happens when I hit clear. So now we need to handle the equal sign and the clear sign. So let's do that right now. Let's go ahead and close this out. And we need to look at eval right now. So help.eval. This is about the only thing that we've not looked at. So in our world, we understand that this string, this is what messed me up, times I get, oops. I get 6, I get 6 sixes. And if I do this plus, I get 63, not 9. But if I use the evaluation function, Python understands that yes, this is a string, but this is also an integer in the world of ASCII. So it understands that I can pass in a string of a math operation that then it will convert it to that answer. I know that can seem a little odd, but let that sit. And because again, Python understands that and has been past those rules that this, yes, it's a string, but this is also a number that is a string right now. And if I then pass it a complete operation, it will understand those string representations as a math operation and then return back the answer. All right. Okay, we got to keep moving. So now we need 2 more functions. We need an equal function. Hang on, let me get a drink, guys, and a cough drop. All right. Okay, so we have clear. So we take in our global, our expression. Then we're going to put the expression back to 0 because we're clearing it, right? So we're resetting it. And then as we do that, then we take our text, our string variable, our string var, and then set it back to expression. All right. That's part of it. But now we need to do the equal. Global. All right. Total. So we just used our, so this is going to, so let's look. So this comes out as an int. Doesn't like that. This is a text, so we got to wrap this in our eval, our expression. Then we do our text dot set dot total. All right, does that make sense? I know I've gone through a lot of stuff here. So this is here. So now I need to come down here and do my clear my clear function. Command equals our clear function, and then our equals needs to be our command equal. All right, let's see how we did. All right, everything looks good. I'm here, 2 plus 2 equals 4. Clear that. 9 times 2 equals 18. Clear that. Let's check and make sure we can do some decimals. We're going to do simple math. 2.3 plus 0.7 equals 3.0. You could handle this if you do not want any decimal form. You know how to do that. 9 clear, 9 divided by 3. Oops. Oh, I think we got a problem. 9 divided by 3. Yep. Our divided sign. We missed that. Where's our divided? Okay. Boom. Boom. All right. Close. Save, run. Okay. Let's bring this over here. 9 divided by 3 equals 3.0. Okay. Let's do Ooh, and then you guys could add the power. You could add a whole bunch of other functions over here. All right, we haven't done any multiplication yet. 2 times 3 is 6. Okay, cool. All right, guys. As always, thank you so very much for joining us. Please make sure you're hitting that like, subscribe, notification bell, buying some free Code Camp merch, heading over to my channel, subscribing. We got a Discord going. Cardinal's been doing a fantastic job over there, being an admin. But yeah, I just absolutely love, and I want to tell you guys, thank you for spending time here. I know time is the one resource we do not have a lot of, but I truly enjoy doing this. Thank you so much for spending your time with me today. I really, truly hope you got something out of it. And as always, guys, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys in 2 weeks. All right. Thanks again. Bye, guys.